So when it came to Disney Plus at the 11th hour, Disney decided to show out extra money for all those Marvel movies that were held up at other services. In the long run, this will be great, considering they gave us about 15 films on day one instead of the original 6 we were gonna get. So kudos to them. Unfortunately, we're never getting Spider-Man. So first up, we should really consider ourselves lucky that Sony and Disney and Marvel were even able to make any sort of agreement for the future of Spider-Man. Now, we all know that it's still shaky grounds as they're massive rival companies, and obviously Spider-Man in the MCU is something that they worked out for the benefit of fans. But now, thanks to The Verge, which I will link in the description down below, we have details on exactly what we can and cannot expect on Disney Plus, and Spider-Man is not coming to Disney Plus in the foreseeable future unless some sort of magical deal happens. And here's the quote: "We love our friends at Sony, but we don't have any plans to have the live-action Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus. We will have all the Spider-Man animated shows that we do." And then he goes on a little bit more, but that's really not important. Now, here's why this is happening and why it's important. When Sony puts out these films, they have their own distributors. They have their own people that work behind the scenes that aren't being handled by Disney. Obviously, Disney distributes their own stuff. So when it comes to their films, they can strike these deals to land them a good amount of money. That's why a lot of films were not announced on Disney Plus for MCU, for example, because they were trying to work out what they had to. And as I already made a video on this, a lot of the Star Wars catalog was going to be missing, but they decided to go and make some agreements with the likes of Stars to be able to get some extra content on there. Now, for Spider-Man, he's not an MCU entity. Like, he is because he's a part of it, but it's still Sony's deal and marketing and their people that would strike these massive deals. So, for example, when Captain Marvel was estimated to earn Disney $50 million for the license for Netflix, but they decided to say no, I'm assuming Spider-Man is probably somewhere in the same ballpark to have the streaming rights. So Disney would have to go and fork over whatever Sony's asking for to put the film on their service. Now, they don't want that because they want you paying for their service where they have original content. Because if things happen down the road that mess up the system or agreements, it'll leave again. So it's essentially paying to lease them, which they're like, we don't need Spider-Man. We have all this other content. We don't even own him. So that's kind of why it's happening. Unfortunately, this means that yes, you will not be able to watch the complete MCU that has, Spider-Man's films included, but eventually they could strike a deal. They do mention in this, you never know what could happen down the road, and that's Hollywood. But as of right now, don't expect Spider-Man anytime soon.